and you're very welcome here to the FEI headquarters in Abbotstown. Good evening and welcome to the live quarter-final draw here of the 2025 RTÉ FAI Cup, brought to you live on RLOITV from Abbotstown. Like I just said, my name is Jamie and we've got a cracking night ahead. We've got two very established gentlemen who's going to be joining me and to do the tie, Irish C8, who is former runner-up for the FEI Cup with Treaty United, and Justin, who won an FEI Cup before and is mostly known for his pretty horrific commentating on Premier Sports. Gentlemen, before we get into the draw, I just want to ask you a couple of questions. I'll go for you first, Justin. You've been on both sides of this cup as a bit of a player and a winner. What kind of mindset do you think the teams will have going into this stage?
Well, of course, the final 8 teams, they've already won a match, but hopefully they do know that there is a long path to go for the remaining teams. They got to keep their head straight for the match that's coming up, and hopefully if they keep that mindset, they'll be able to make it all the way to the final and be able to create history for their team.
Perfect response there from Justin, who's a Roblox League Garden fan favourite, as I said in the graphic, which obviously is incorrect and the director will be shot. Irish C8, who's going to be our co-drawer tonight. You've been watching this competition ever since the first round. Which team has impressed you the most so far?
Well, in all honesty, I haven't really focused on many of the teams. It's only the quarterfinal stage, of course, as soon as we get into the matches, and when we finally draw out the teams, we can finally look at some of the stakes, some of the odds, and which team is more likely to go through to the semi-finals in each match. So far, none of the teams have really impressed me due to the fact we're only at the quarterfinal stage, around 16. It's only the Premier Division clubs that are still in this competition. So it's all to play for, technically.
Totally good response, and it's going to be massive coming up. Gentlemen, we're going to go ahead with the draw. And just a reminder for our viewers at home, before we go ahead with the draw, the teams that we have for the quarterfinals is as followed by alphabetical order and numeral order. Number 1, Bray Wanderers. Number 2, Finn Harps. Number 3, Galway United. Number 4, Kerry FC. Number 5, Shamrock Rovers. Number 6, Shelburne. Number 7, UCD AFC. And number 8, Wexford FC. So those are the teams that will, of course, take us into the quarterfinals, which will probably be covered by RTE and all the other registered streaming services. So without further ado, it's pretty much time to get forward now with the quarter-final draw. And doing the home draw for tonight will be Justin, and doing the away draw will be Irish C8. So, gentlemen, I wish you the best of luck, and let's go ahead and get this draw going on. Justin, I want you to start us off.
All right, here we go. Number 8.
And the first one out of the pot is number 8, which is Wexford FC out of Ferrycarrig Park. They're going to be taking the first tie of this quarterfinal at home. Now, Irish C8, it's up to you now to tell us who will be the away team.
You there?
Well, I think we're having a bit of technical issues with Irish C8. Maybe he's not there. We did know that before that he's probably going to have some microphone issues. So, you know what? Actually, you know what? I'll go over and just do the draw myself, because seeing as like he's not very capable. Don't mind what's kind of aggravating I'm doing on him.
Out of context.
Hold on, I've got the ball pulled out here. Number 8. And I need to go back over to my table to find the sheet. Which is number 8, Galway United FC. Wexford FC will face off Galway United in the first tie of this quarter final.
Did you just say 8 again?
Did I say it? My apologies, it's not it. It will be Galway United that will be taking on that one. It's third again. That is, it said, of Galway.
if I could just say something real quick. This is the second time in a row that Wexford will be facing Galway in the FAI Cup quarter-final. Last seen Wexford beating Galway 3-2. So that's going to be interesting.
Justin is
Very
pretty much
close
the man
fights.
for the stats. So, hopefully Irish C8 will be able to join us again for the next tie in this. We'll go ahead with you. We'll go ahead with you again, Justin.
All right, here we go. Number 6, that's going to be Shelburne. Oh, oops. Number 6.
Well, it seems like Irish C8 is pretty much gone, but Justin has pulled out at the pot number 6, and as it says on my list, it is Shelburne taking the home tie off Tolka Park. And hopefully Irish C8 is back. Can you communicate with us again, Irish?
Can you hear me okay?
Can hear you absolutely grand now. Okay, Irish, we'll go ahead and get you to do the away draw, hopefully this time.
Number 2.
Shelburne will be facing off against the Donegal side. Finn Harps FC will be travelling down to Tolka Park. Number 2 in the draw. And pretty much a bit of a one that you wouldn't really know the stakes of, but Finn Harps are a bit of better form than Shelburne going into the match. Obviously, they did lose their last encounter. Finn Harps in the league, but cup competitions, everything can change. We're going ahead with...
It's the first time the Shelburne and Finn Harps will face each other in the cup.
That is true enough. We'll go ahead with you, Justin. Maybe next time don't interrupt me whenever we're doing the draw. So the home tie, please, Justin.
All right. Number 7.
Number 7, which is UCD AFC of the UCD Bowl in Belfield, will be taking the home tie in the quarter-final. The students have won an FAI Cup before, back in Season 3, although some people may consider that game to be one of the most controversial. But nonetheless, Irish will get you to see who will be travelling to Belfield.
Number 1.
Number 1, Bray Wanderers FC will be travelling to UCD for the quarter-final of the FAI Cup. So a bit of a Dublin derby going on. UCD playing in the south side of Dublin, and just about 40 kilometres down the road is Bray Wanderers ground, Carlisle grounds. So I suppose that's the first derby we've had all of the draw. Bray Wanderers taking on UCD AFC.
Mind if I can... Okay, so 2 things. UCD won a cup in Season 1. And second of all, both of the First Division teams remaining in the cup are facing each other. So we're going to have at least one First Division team in the semi-final.
Of course. Now, lads, we're come to the stage and we've only got 2 teams left here. And, of course, it is going to be it will be Kerry FC taking on Shamrock Rovers. But to decide who will get the home tie in this, it is up to you, Justin, to see who will come out of the pot. Number 4 or number 5. Which is either Kerry FC or Shamrock Rovers. So, Justin, it is up to you. All the Kerry fans and Shamrock Rovers fans are relying on you to give them a home tie. Justin, tell us news.
Okay. Number 4.
Number 4, it will be Kerry FC playing home to... Jeez, I can never really guess who, lads. Irish, do me a favour. What's the last team that's in your pot there?
Number 5, Shamrock Rovers.
Well, we could have never really guessed that. It is Shamrock Rovers who will be heading down to Mount Hawk Park. And lads, I'm going to say that is a bit of a big one, but Shamrock Rovers are obviously at a loss because probably the greatest manager to ever managed Shamrock Rovers previously and brought them on a pretty much of a good bit of run. Paddy has actually left the club, which was probably a bit of time ago. Again, I resigned as league president. I don't know a thing yet. So Kerry FC will be playing Shamrock Rovers to finish off the draw there. Gentlemen, what a draw that we've had. And don't mind, I'm not at my table. What a draw we've had there, gentlemen. And thanks very much for doing that. I'll go back to you. Justin, can you return?
That's sorry.
I'll go back to you just to ask you for a question. Irish, I'll go to you first, seeing as Justin's a bit incapacitated.
Hey!
Irish, what did you think of the draw altogether? What's the biggest tie in there?
Personally, I think the biggest tie is the Shamrock Rovers KRC match, of course. All the rest of the games, small-sided, very little. Shamrock Rovers, one of the biggest teams. So is Kerry FC, of course. They've won a good few times, I think. They're two of the big teams people were probably expecting to win the actual cup. With the both of them ending up in the same tie, I think it's going to say, oh, one of the biggest heavyweights is going to drop out, and it might give Kerry or Shamrock Rovers the chance to blow the competition absolutely wide open going into the semi-finals.
Very well said. Justin, you picked out the home tie for the last tie we had, Kerry FC versus Shamrock Rovers. Obviously, that might be one to look out for. What's your thoughts on that match?
Well, if you've been keeping up in the RLOI server, you would have known at this point that Shamrock Rovers actually haven't had an owner in recent times. The only reason why they're in the quarterfinal at this point was because Longford Town didn't have an owner when they formerly had one. However, they have since left. Since they have not had an owner in so long, I feel like it's just going to be an easy 3-0 forfeit for Kerry, and they'll be able to advance to the semi-final.
Well, thank you for ruining the moment there, Justin. That's unbelievable. Irish, I'll ask you one more question and I'll leave you alone because I know you're in a rush to get to Supermax down on the M50 heading back up to the north. Irish, I mean, we've seen some big ties there. We've seen Shelbourne versus Finn Harps, which I wouldn't consider a big tie, but Wexford versus Galway United. I believe you were kind of talking about it a little bit earlier on. Who do you think will come out on top there?
Well, before I start talking about the tie, just wanted to say that the taco chip from Supermax is my top choice. Second of all would be the garlic cheese chip.
I'm not from Ireland.
But onto the actual question of the draw. Wexford Galway, it's a very big game in all fairness compared to the other draws, especially with what Justin said, ruining the moment. Shamrock Rovers is probably going to forfeit 3-0 to Kerry FC. But I think Wexford and Galway will be one of the most chaotic games. I think it'll just be absolute madness in that match.
Yeah, to be honest, I would agree with you on the Supermax point of view. But unfortunately, the closest Supermax to me is about an hour and a half. So not all things are good in that side. Justin, one final question for you as well. You're a former FAI Cup winner, as said before. You know, the importance of winning the cup. Do you think it'll be a big challenge for some of the teams in this quarterfinal coming now?
Well, of course, some of these matches are going to be like really intense. Like for example, Galway want to get their revenge on Wexford for what they did in season 5. UCD versus Bray is going to be a massive fight between the first division teams, which we're going to see. Which actually, funny enough, is we're going to see this matchup 2 game weeks in a row because game week 9 is going to be UCD versus Bray again. So it's going to be really interesting to see which one of these teams will focus more on, either the cup or the league. We're just going to have to find out what that is all about.
So, gentlemen, thank you very much for all your help tonight. Of course, we couldn't have done it without you. We need some drawers, and even though IRC did kind of have a bit of a blunder to himself in the end up part of the start of the draw, we got there in the end. Just a reminder of the draw teams that we have here before we head off tonight. It is Wexford FC versus Galway United. Shelbourne FC will be the hosts to Finn Harps. UCD FC versus Bray Wanderers in the only real derby in this cup quarter final, and Kerry FC will be hosts to Shamrock Rovers. All the ties will be played week ending April 20th, which is basically this weekend.
Happy Easter.
Happy Easter indeed. Gentlemen, thank you very much for all your help, and you know, all is left to say is thank you very much for watching. Thanks very much to the sponsor of the FAI Cup, RTÉ Aaron, for their continued support, and of course thank you very much once again to our drawers. Hopefully, we'll see some big ties coming up in the quarter-final. And from all of us here at the FAI headquarters in Abbotstown, I'd like to wish you a very good afternoon, good evening, and good night.